Good evening, BookTube, YouTube. This is Johnny again. I just posted a video I did this morning, a morning ramble about how I was doing, and I told myself if I was going to post that video, then I had to balance it out with a book video, since that's what I primarily focus in my YouTube channel is books. I love books. I read. I'm a reader. I go to thrift stores looking for books, used books, and I got down here in the lower level is our library. I have cataloged in my library thing right now 13,000 books, and so I'm into books, and so I thought I'd show you. I showed you my Blue Stockings book haul, and but I mentioned I had books from the Book Nook, the library used bookstore, where I volunteer the last 11 years, and I've got a bunch of books I've gotten from the Book Nook. I don't think I've shown them in a video. I do have thrift store books over there to be shown in another video, but I thought I would do is just show you what the last couple weeks I've gotten at the Book Nook. The Book Nook hasn't really been getting that many books. I mean, really, mind-blowing kind of stuff. I just pick up stuff here and there. I did get a CD in the mail today from Michael Gira from the Swans. You all know I did a video a while back on the ambient, I don't know what you call it, the kind of music is ambient, metal, rock. It's kind of hard to catalog what their music is today, but they're going to have a new album coming out in this year or next year, and they had a fundraising where and Michael Gira, he puts out self-produced little CDs with the current songs. He sings acoustically on guitar, and then you buy this, and it's like to raise money. And then you get when the CD where the vinyl comes out, you get the CD in the mail. So I did this. So I got this in the mail today, the new Michael Gira. It's just him singing. You get, it comes in a little envelope. It has a little artwork on it. I have a couple of these over the years. I'm on his mailing list to see if the little artwork. And then you get the lyric sheet, which I really like. I like the lyric sheets of all the songs that he sings on there acoustically. And then this came with a little artwork by Michael Gira. I don't know if he did this himself, but so that came in the mail today. Yeah, I don't know. I can't listen to that stuff due to my problem in my left ear, tinnitus. I can't pronounce the word. It's not. We have that constant bugging, and so. But I still support him. I've always liked him as an artist. I don't always agree with him, his worldview, or his but I don't know. Some things I can't explain. But been reading this afternoon still the manuscript I found in Saragossa. Someone asked me if I'm still reading this, a comment. Yes, I've read 207 pages of this. This is by, now I said he was Polish, but I'm going to make sure here when I look at this. Yeah, Jan Polak was born in Poland in 1761 into a very great aristocratic family which owned vast estates. He was educated in Geneva and Lausanne, served twice in the army, and spent some time as a novice knight of Malta. During his lifetime, he was an a very busy traveler and travel writer, and Egyptologist. He did all kinds of things. So he was proficient in many different languages. He had extensive travels through the Mediterranean, the Balkans, the Caucasus, China. He married twice. In 1812, he retired in his estates in Poland, suffering from chronic ill health, melancholy, and disillusionment. He committed suicide in 1815. He blew his brains out with a silver bullet. But apparently this was one of his, he wrote this. So first of all, here's the books from the Book Nook over the last month, maybe 2 months, I can't remember. I picked this little book up. We get old books into the Book Nook, and this was published in 1893, and it's the early poems of John Greenleaf Whittler. He was a poet, he was an abolitionist, and I don't know, I bought it. I like American poetry, and it was a nice little book. Cost me a couple of dollars. Yeah, his name was John Whittler. There's a picture of him. He was against slavery and an early abolitionist. I picked this book up the last time I was at the Book Nook, The Human Animal in Western Art and Science by Martin Kemp. It's more like a coffee table book. It just has all kinds of interesting drawings in there, and I don't know, it just looked really interesting. It cost me $5, but I don't know, it looked interesting, and I like books like this. I also picked up at the Book Nook Monday this book. It's a memoir by a journalist who covered the Second World War. He covered the Spanish Civil War. This was published in 1939. Return. There is no Return by Philip Jordan. There's not much known about him on the internet, except that he was a journalist. He worked for a newspaper in Britain. And I bought this because when I was reading it, it's his covering the Spanish Civil War, which is one of my favorite things to read about, and so I picked this up. Then I picked up quotations from Chairman Mao Tse-tung. I don't know, it goes to my 60s collection. Was this published in 60? I don't know, when was this published? 1972. Foreign Language Press, Peking, 1972. So, I don't know. I have a biography on Chairman Mao. That's why I got it. Then I picked up this hardback at last, an Edward St. Alban novel. I had it in paperback. And now I found a hardback, so now I have both. Yeah, I really like his writings. Edward St. Alban is a British writer at last. And I have a couple of his novels. Yeah, so, picked that up. And then I picked up The Elephant's Journey by Jose Saramago. I collect his writings. I have them in the back room. I didn't dehaul them. And this one I didn't have. The Elephant's Journey, translated from the Portuguese by Margaret, Jull, Costa. So I didn't have this one in my collection. So I picked it up. I like books in translation. I already had this, but I wasn't sure. Lincoln and Bardo by George Saunders. I can't find my copy right now, so I picked this up at the Book Nook. And I have several biographies of Merle Smiley. I have her biography on, a couple biographies of her. She wrote one on Kenneth Clark. I have a biography. I have her biography. I used to have her biography in Frank Lloyd Wright, which I dehauled. I have her biography on Doveen, A Life in Art. I like to find her biography on Leonard Bernstein, but this is the mysterious affair at Olivet, IBM, the CIA, and the Cold War conspiracy to shut down the production of the world's first desktop computer. And this is a nonfiction, and I collect her, and I bought this. This is a novel I came across on Amazon and read about it, and I thought about buying it, and then it came into the book nook. This novel, The Plot, a novel by Hanff, Korelitz. Yeah, I really want to read this. Stephen King has a thing in here, insanely readable. The Plot is one of the best novels I've ever read about writers and writing. It's also insanely readable, and the suspense is quotient, is through the roof. It's remarkable. Stephen King. I read about this, and so I picked it up at the book nook. And then I picked this book up at the book nook by Francis Biddle. He was the United States Attorney General and second Secretary of State. He served 4 years during the Roosevelt administration. Anyway, this is called The Fear of Freedom Introduction by Harold J. Jckes, a comprehensive study of the treatment of subversives in America by FDR's Attorney General. This was published in 1951. So it looked kind of interesting. And then I picked up at the book nook Liberty's Exiles, 4 Loyalists in the Revolutionary War by Maya Janstoff. It's American history. National Book Critic Circle Award winner. I like books in American history. This looked really interesting. It cost me a couple of dollars. So I picked this up. I had this in paperback, and I didn't realize I had it in hardback, but this is by Jeffrey Eugenies, The Middlesex, a novel. I didn't dehaul. He wrote The Virgin Suicides, and he wrote another one, The Marriage Plot, I think. And so I picked this up hardback. He's supposed to be working on a new novel I read about just the other night, so we'll see. This is by a Romanian writer I never heard of. Farewell and Shangla by Angel Wagenstein, and this is translated out of, I think it's Romanian. She wrote a book called Isaac's Torah. So I picked this up. It's about Jews who fled Nazi Germany and fled to Shangla and their lives there. It's like, it's a novel. See, it's a novel. It's not nonfiction. I picked up The Pastoral Song, A Farmer's Journey by James Rebanks. I had his novel, The Shepherd's Life. Not a novel. It's nonfiction about a shepherd's life in the Lake District there in England. And he wrote, this is another book of his, The Pastoral Song, A Farmer's Journey, the Nature Book of the Year, Sunday Times. Wendell Berry liked this. But I can't find my Shepherd's Life. I know I didn't dehaul it. I looked all over for it, but I couldn't find it. This is his new one, James. I don't know if it's new. When did this come out? This came out in 2020. I like books on nature, nature writing, books on nature. I just like things like that. I picked this up, Richard Radard. No, my wife said this is not Richard. It's Rayard Kipling, To Writer Haggard, A Record of a Friendship, edited by Morton Cohen. I collect books on Kipling, and that's why I picked this up. I have biographies, his short stories, his novels. He's known for the Jungle Book and things like that. So I picked this up for my Kipling collection. This is another American history book, The Quartet-Orchestrating the Second American Revolution, 1783 to 1789, by Joseph J. Ellis. I collect, he's a very famous American historian. I have his founding fathers he also wrote His Excellency George Washington. I have that, the founding fathers, the Revolutionary Generation, American Phoenix, the character Thomas Jefferson, the First Family, and Abigail and John Adams. I want to buy that one. But I look for he's a very famous American historian. And then I picked up the complete novels of James M. Kane. And he's famous for these. He's like, what do you call it, crime novels. The Postman Always Rings Twice, Double Indemnity, and Mildred Pierce. And I've always wanted to read, these were made into movies, Double Indemnity, The Postman Always Rings Twice. And I collect classic crime novels. And then I picked up this is the last book I think I got, Books of the Century, 100 Years of Author, Ideas, and Literature, from the New York Times, edited by Charles McGrath and the staff of the Book Review. It's a book on books, there's reviews, and it just looked really interesting, and so I bought it. I think it cost me $2, $4 or $5, something. So that's the kind of stuff I get at the Book Nook. It's just kind of smudged books, all kinds of books, and but I collect books on books. I like classic crime novels. I like reading about American history. I collect things on Kipling. I like nature books. I like books in translation. Farewell to Shangla. I had this paperback, and I didn't know I had it in hardback. Now I got 2 hardbacks. I'll take one of them to the Book Nook. Once again, I like American history, so I bought this. And I like reading about, I collect books on FDR, his presidency, and what was going on, the rise of communism and subversives and spying and all this, The Fear of Freedom by Francis Biddle. I like good novels, so I picked up The Plot by Jean Handa Korelitz. And I collect her writings, for she's a bibliographer. And this is by Merle Smiley. And I collect the writings of George Sanders, Lincoln, and Bardo. I collect this Portuguese writer, José Saramago, winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature. I didn't have this one in my collection. I got a hardback of Edwin St. Albans, At Last. I have a paperback I'll take to the Book Nook. And I like American poetry, 19th century poetry, especially by an abolitionist. There's poems against slavery in here, like the slave ships. He has, just a good. I really enjoyed reading the little biographical sketch in here. It was really good. And I picked up the quotations of Chairman Mao for go along with my biography on Chairman Mao, and then I picked this memoir of this journalist he covered the Spanish Civil War, the Foreign Legion. He goes to, he just covered all kinds of things. He covered the Second World War, talks about his travels. He went to Egypt, he went to Calcutta. I don't know, it just looks interesting. So I like reading writings by journalists of newspapers and things like that. And this book really is interesting, The Human Animal in Western Art and Science. I don't agree with his view that man's an animal, but I don't know, I liked all the drawings. I liked the way he wrote, and so I just picked it up. It just looked interesting. So that's it. That's what you get at the Book Nook. I volunteer at the Book Nook this coming Friday. It's closed next Monday for President's Day, I think. So I hope you're having a good day. I know I made a video this morning. Now it's going on 4:30 here in West Michigan. It is a Wednesday evening. And yeah, so once again, I thank you for your support. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for subscribing and your comments. And until next time, bye.